90% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know. But no, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tuck's picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him because he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, got a picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote, his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds, the skill of an artist.
This is 20% skill, 80% fear, be 100% clear, cause Ryu was ill. Who would've thought he'd be the one that set the West in flames? And I heard him wreck it with the crystal method, name of the game. Came back, dropped Megadeth, took him to church. I like Bleach, man. Ryu had the stupidest verse, this dude is the truth. Now
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday. We're here to break up your NFL wildcard weekend with a hockey game from Strathcona County, Alberta. We are in the Olympiette Arena for this game between the Strathcona Warriors, who will be wearing the dark jerseys today, and the Canadian Athletic Club United Sport and Cycle Canadians, who will be wearing the lights. Both teams 13-7 coming into the game. Canadians coming off a stellar weekend. Their last game yesterday was an 11-2 win over CAC. And the last game for the Strathcona Warriors was just over a week ago on the 4th. It was a draw at 2 against Lloydminster. Both teams match up well. This is going to be a good game, folks. So put that NFL football game in the background and we'll watch some hockey here. We're going to pause for the national anthem. Alright, looks like we are ready to go here. Oh, a little bit of feedback. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Just a little fuzzy on my side. Okay, well, Test, test, test. It's a little grainy, but I'm not going to play with it too much. All right. Well, once again, welcome back to the Strathcona Olympiette. We are ready to go here. Before we get going, oh wait, no, puck comes back into the Canadian zone after winning the draw. Put up the near boards, thrown into the Warrior zone. Scott with it, puts it to the far side. Passes through players over to the near side into the Canadian zone. Thorvaldson picks it up. Gets it back to Eagle. Eagle up to Hoare. Hoare crosses the near side. Has Thorvaldson on the right side. Gets it into the zone. Puck goes loose and into that four corner. Jammed against the boards. Set loose by Roberts. Roberts puts that out to the neutral zone. It's knocked down by Eagle. He comes back to his own zone to set it up for the Canadians. That's flipping it down the ice. That's going to be stopped at the blue line by number 20. Puck initially in the Warrior zone. Now comes out. Goes right back in. Off of the stick of Zahara. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Warriors can't move it to the near side. Zahara takes it on the 4 boards. Puts that deep into the Strathcona zone. Okay. Still, puck on the far corner. Now it rolls up the boards. There's a shot from Ulrich. That hit traffic in front. It's going to be put off the boards. Knocked down by Enriquez Gomez. Right behind him, picking his pocket, was number 10, Wara. Wara puts that into the zone. No, put over to the near side. Webster sets that up for Frostad. Frostad, the puck bounces off a Warrior stick. Comes into the Warriors on Enriquez Gomez's centering pass, knocked down. Comes over the near side. Turcotte's going to pick that up for the Canadians. Come up the right side. He dumps that into the Warriors zone. Back to grab it. Bailey moves that up the near side. Warriors trying to move it off the boards. Get halfway. Turcotte keeps that in. Throws that into the open side. Bounced over the near side. Warriors pick it up. 7, back to 10, back to 7. There's a shot. Webster missed the save. Rebound over to the near side after that shot from Romano. Tipped away. Sent down low. Morris picks it up for the Canadians. Still battling below the goal line on the far side. Coming over for Romano. He tries to center that. That play broken up by Morris. Morris with the puck. He's going to flip that up the ice. Last Schufeld knocked down by number 17. Siped. Turcotte picks it up in the Canadian zone, puts it up the near board. Fred picks it up, gets it up to Ogundia. Ogundia puts that into the Canadian zone. Canadians move it over the near side. Centering pass up to Richard. Richard caught by, I think it was Dobb. And as the puck came back, we got an offside call with 17-13 left in the first period. All right. Well, we'll say hi to Carson's older brother watching from Toronto. He's a forward. Defense, plays defense for the University of Toronto. Yes? I think he's there with some teammates. Hello to all of you guys in Ontario. Welcome to some Sunday night hockey in Alberta. Icing call there. Warriors gonna take the face off in their own zone. 17:06 left in the first period. Draw one by the Warriors. They're gonna come up the near side. Ogundia puts that into the Canadian zone. Bounces hard off the boards. Sharp was Eagle as it bounced right into the slot. Pass from West up to Richard. Richard centering. Pass. That's knocked down by Christensen. Battle for it on the near boards. Comes up high. It's going to roll back to the far side in the Canadian zone. Eagle back to play it. Moves up in the near side for Frostad. Frostad back to Eagle. Eagle tries to throw that up the ice. That's knocked down. Here's a quick shot from the right side. And the Warriors put that wide. Rebound bounces all the way back into the Warriors zone. Thorvaldson picks up the puck. And it's put back into the Strathcona zone. Now off the near glass, rolls into the Canadian zone. Ulrich back to play it. Couldn't get to the back of the goal line. Centering pass. Number 9 couldn't play it. Now to number 19, there's a shot high off the mark. Rolls off the boards. Battle below the net over on the far side. Low shot. That is kicked away. Another one, and Webster is going to make the save there. Covering up with 15:56 left in the first period. Oh, sweet. It's always nice when we get people from other provinces tuning in. Face off, going to be on the far side in the Canadian zone. It's on the far boards. Morris picks that up, takes that in the corner for the Canadians, moves it to the near side to Frostad. Frostad tried to move it up the boards. That's knocked down by the Warriors. Warriors put that up high. That is thrown into the far corner by Yurkish. Short shot. Webster with the save. And the Canadians sweep it down the ice. Just off the side of the goal, so it's going to end up being nice and cool here with 15:33 left in the first period. There's a great shot there by Enriquez Gomez. Puck comes back into the Canadian zone. Morris with it. Put behind the net, over to Frostad. Frostad sends that up, knocked down by Enriquez Gomez. Sends it to the left side to Zahara, back to Enriquez Gomez. Right side to Yamniak. Great movement of the puck, just didn't quite work out for him. Comes to the side of the Warriors net. The Warriors goaltender is going to hang on to it with 14:48 left in the first period. Face off, far side of the Warriors zone. Warriors win that, take that into the corner. Stretch pass up to number 18. It's knocked off his stick. Eagle picks it up, moves it back to Turcotte. Turcotte loses the handle, takes it into the corner though, moves it up to Eagle. Centering pass by Schufeld. Gets that up to Taylor. Taylor crosses over to the left side. Has Thorvaldsen following him. Drop pass to Thorvaldsen. Low shot. Stick save. Molyneux comes back to the right point. Schufeld breaks his stick, taking that shot. Puck put out to the neutral zone. Coming up the near side, Dawson, drop pass for Whitbolt, over to Dawson on the near side, takes that into the corner. Whitbolt's going to take a shot. That's deflected below the goal line, over to the far side. Turcotte takes his man into the boards, left for number 12 of the Warriors. Moves up the boards, Enriquez Gomez puts that off. His centering pass blocked, but second attempt gets to Eagle. Eagle quickly to West up the right side. West coming in, there's a hot shot, picking that far corner and going wide. Up the boards, kept in by the Canadians. Dollywall knocked off the puck. Centering pass comes from the Canadians, but that's broken up by the Warriors. Ogundia moves that up to the near side. Chips that into the Canadian zone, goes to chase it. Met with resistance from Ulrich. That's going to come all the way up to the point. Shot by Yurkish. That hit traffic in front, goes over to the far side. Thrown right in front. Ogundia along with Webster. Webster makes the save. And we're going to get a stop here with 13:21 left in the first period. As Webster, quick on those skates, pushing hard over from the left side to his right to the top of that crease. Ogundeya didn't have much to shoot at there. And he makes the save, stopping play with 13:21 left in that first period. Face off near side in the Canadian zone. Puck. Warriors won it, but it bounces out to the neutral zone. Warriors grab it there and dump it back into the Canadian zone. Webster sets that up for Ulrich. Whips. Or wishes on it. Battle for it down low. Now comes up to Dollywall. Dollywall spins around, gets it to Richard. Richard out to the neutral zone, picked up by West. West comes up the left wing into the Warriors zone. Looking for a cross-ice pass to Morris. Morris fires that low, and Molyneux with the save. 12:51 left in the first period. Neither team able to find the back of the net yet. Good job by the Canadians. It wasn't a clean breakout, but they were able to fit one together and get a rush up the right side with Morris firing it low, looking for that 5-hole shot. Canadians win the face-off in the offensive zone. Puck on the near side, now put behind the net, rolls back to Thorvaldsen. Thorvaldsen gets it back to the point to Turcotte. Turcotte rushes it down, puts it around the board, centering pass. Nope, Hoare puts it behind the net over to the near side. Picked up by Hoare. Centering pass. That's going to be broken up by number 15, Bailey. Bailey rushing it out himself. Gets to just outside the blue line, then dumps it in the Canadian zone. Thorvaldsen picks it up first. Sends it to the far side. Boris, let's skip over to Hoare. Hoare hangs on to it. Retreats back behind the goal line. Gets it over to Morris. Morris has Burnett heading up the ice. Skips past him. Bailey knocks that back to the neutral zone. Hoare with it. Goes to the near side to Turcotte. Turcotte rolls that into the Warriors zone. Hangs out at the point. Warriors, number, I think that's Bailey again, might be DeHid. Floats that into the Canadian zone. Frostad with it. Sends it up the ice, but that's knocked down by number 19, Roma. Coming back for it are the Canadians. Yamniak picks that up at center. Goes to the left side. Enriquez Gomez steps into the zone. There's a shot. Glove save. Walanui wanted to keep playing it. Sight was there. The set was there. But we'll stop play as the refs gave him an early whistle with 11:34 left in the first period. Face off far side, the Warriors zone. Canadians win it in front. Yamniak just missed him by a couple of inches on that near post. Zahara tries to put that high. Now it's chipped by Enriquez Gomez. Bounces just over the net. Zahara with it. Puts it back to the point. There's a shot by Eagle. That hit traffic. They're going to rush it out the neutral zone. Davies coming in. That's taken away. Frostad and Eagle working together. Lead pass, looking for Zahara, just in front of him. Icing waved off. Number 11, Christensen picks it up. It's put on the far boards. Battle for it. Warriors eventually get it. Comes back to the point, though. Eagle with a quick shot. Low and Molyneux. Molyneux had to be quick with that one. Took a little bounce in front. Molyneux knocks it down, then covers it up with 10:55 left in the first period. Face off far side in the Warrior zone. Canadians win it. Morris, far side for Hoare. Hoare down for Taylor. That's knocked down. Warriors taking on the far side, stretching that up to number 18 with hold. Centering pass is broken up by Morris of the Canadians. He puts that off the boards and out to the neutral zone. It bounces through Christensen. Molyneux out to play it. Gets that over to Yurkish. Puts that up the boards. Take that back. Number 20 was not on my list. We'll take care of that at the break. Number 12 with it. Centering pass. Broken up by Ulrich. Ulrich outlets that quickly to Hoare. Hoare puts on the Jets. And there's a high shot. Blocker save Molyneux. Stays in play. Schufelt picks it up in the near corner. Wanted to get that to Taylor. Standing in his way was Dawson. Warriors get that into the Canadian zone where Eagle picks it up. Waits for his team to change. Throws it up the middle. Stretch pass to West. West straight to the net. Going low on Molyneux. Molyneux makes the glove save. West comes back for the rebound. Picks up the puck. Wanted to get it to Turcotte. Turcotte was thinking he was going to drive low and swap with Ollie. Canadians put the puck back out to the neutral zone where Bailey puts it back in. Chipped off the glass. Bailey knocks it down at the line. Puck comes into the near side of the Canadian zone. Eagle moving down to play it. Has to contest against the Hyde. Put up the near side. Centering pass. That's going to come across the boards on the far side. First one to it will Dollywall. Dollywall looking for a trailer. Richard. That's broken up by Yurkish. Pass. The Warriors coming into the Canadian zone. Tried to drive it outside. Ulrich takes that away. Kicks behind the net. Looking for the pass. It's over to Frostad behind the net. He's going to move it up the near side. Frostad. Centering pass to Richard. Richard moves it up to Burnett, who puts that into the Warrior zone. Warriors quickly move it up the ice, up the near side. Number 8. Centering pass. Looking for 19. That skips past him. Goes over to Burnett. Burnett coming up the left side. Dumps that into the Warrior zone. Goes to chase. Beat there by number 6, Stanicki. Thorvaldsen picks it up for the Canadians on the near side. Moves it up the boards. Morris with it. Morris tried to put that down low. Looking for Hoare. Warriors got a piece of it, put out to the neutral zone. Now the Warriors on the far side coming in. Number, I think that's 15. Maybe it was 19. It was Roma. Couldn't move it off the boards. Canadians have it in their own zone. Morris coming out with it. Throws it hard off the boards. Skips past number 20. And we'll have an icing call here with 8 minutes to go in the first period. Canadians looking pretty good, winning 3 of their last 5 games. Warriors, just about the same. Nope, they have 2 wins and 3 losses. Not a big difference between the two teams. Canadians win the face-off in their own zone. Here they come up the near side. Warriors pitch up to that lead pass, put the puck out to the neutral zone. Here's Dobb coming up the nearest side. Dobb looking for the centering pass. Morris breaks that up, but following up the puck is Carson. Carson tries to sweep that back to Dobb. Canadians able to get it back in their defensive zone. Yamniak moving his head up the right side. Bounces off the boards right back to Molyneux, and Molyneux quickly covers that one up with hunting Canadians around the net. .7:31 left in the first period. No score yet. Well, I have the face-off near side in the Warrior zone. Canadians win the draw. Zahara takes that in their corner. Pass to Yamniak. Gets a shot off Yamniak with the save. Comes on the near side right in front. And Zahara couldn't quite get it to go. Molinak somehow captured that in his pads. And we get a stop here with 7:23 left in the first period. You see the Canadians take it in the near corner. They throw it out front. Comes back to the near side. Zahara had a chance to tap it, I think, there. Molyneux just captures that in the pads. Puck's dropped in the Warrior zone. They try and move it up the near side as we'll jump back to live play here. Yamniak with it. Down low for Zahara. Zahara couldn't return it back. Pops it over the net. And Yamniak picks it up. Far side for Eagle. Down to Yamniak. Yamniak tries to chip that into the corner. That's cut by the Warriors, number 25, Yerkish. And he puts that out to the neutral zone. Frostad gets that back in the Warrior zone. Their exit blocked by Enriquez Gomez. He tried to drive it, but it comes out to the neutral zone where Eagle handles it. Eagle over the near side to Frostad. Frostad up to Schufelt. Schufelt puts that in the near boards, knocked down by Bailey and put into the Canadian zone. Frostad puts that back out to the neutral zone. Walked in by number 18 with Holt, but caught on the play was his line mate. Offside. And we'll get a stop here with 6:31 left in the first period. Canadians win the draw. They have it in their own zone. Ulrich puts it up the boards. Knocked off there. Taylor puts it deep. Looking for Schufelt to chase. Picked up by Sept. Moved to the far side. Now it comes back to the near side. Trying to move it up the boards. Togandia. He gets that out to the neutral zone, but not by the Canadians. Ulrich. Ulrich puts that back in the Warrior zone. Warriors start behind their own net. Centering pass broken up by Taylor over to Thorvaldson. Thorvaldson shot hit a stick and ends up going out of play. 6:03 left in the first period. Still no score on the board. A clock in the arena doesn't have shots on it. But I would say the Canadians it's probably 8-2. Face off near side. Maybe not that much. Let's say 6-2. Warriors bring the puck out to the neutral zone, led by Ogadia. It's chopped off his stick. Loose puck comes over to Schufelt. Rushes up the far side. He's hit just outside the blue line over to Thorvaldson. Thorvaldson centers that to Taylor. And it comes off his skate into the near corner. Canadians keep it in the zone, but it's picked up by the Warriors. Number 6 behind his own net. Stonek, he throws that up the far side. Wanted to stretch it to Roma, but that's going to misconnect, and we'll have an icing call with 5:31 left in the first period. Draw will be far side in the Canadian or in the Strathcona Warrior zone. Richard wins it for the Canadians. There's a shot by West that hits traffic. Richard trying to reach out and swing it back towards the net. He is knocked down. Puck on the near boards. Canadians doing a good job keeping it in. Frostad over to Richard. Richard shot blocked. Picked up on the near side by Roma. Roma puts that up the near boards. Connects with Roberts. Roberts puts that up the near side and it rolls into the Canadian zone. Battle for it in the near corner. Comes loose for the Canadians. West, who's going to rush it up the ice. Pass to the right side to Dollywall. Back to Frostad. Frostad turns. That shot wide. Picked up on the far side by Richard. Richard with it. Wanted to center that. Bats over the near side for Dollywall. Dollywall looking to move back to Frostad. That was intercepted by Roma. Jumps that into the Canadian zone. Turcotte back to play it. Tried to move that up the west. That was blocked by Roma, and it bounces just outside the blue line for an offside call with Daub looking to attack the net. Right at the end here, you can see it. Offside call, and we'll jump to the next face-off here with 4:34 remaining in the period. Warriors win it. They put it into the far side of the Canadian zone. Ulrich, near side for Eagle. Eagle off the boards. That's cut off by Bailey. Puts that back into the corner. Rolls behind the net to the far side. Ulrich gets it. Burnett able to jam it out to the neutral zone. Yerkish puts it back into the Canadian zone. Ulrich near side to Burnett. Chipped into the Warrior zone. Knocked down by Bailey. Comes out to center again. Ulrich with it. Over to Thorvaldson. Right side to Burnett. Burnett drops that for Hoare. Hoare takes that into the near boards. Bounces off the boards. There's a shot off the cross iron. Picked up by number 10. Stopped by Eagle at the far point. He fires that into the near corner. Comes up the boards. Burnett chopped at it, but it rolls into the neutral zone. Carson up to Warwa. Warwa jumps that up the near side. Gets around Ulrich. Picks up the puck behind the Canadians' net. Sends the far side right in front for number 14. Webster got a piece of that with the glove. Picked up by Eagle. Eagle over to Hoare. Hoare flips that up, looking for Yamniak. Knocked down on the near side by Sept. Throws that back into the neutral. Oh, Thorvaldson keeps that in at the line and then rips that above the glove of the Warriors goaltender. Canadians keeping the pressure on. They finally busted through. Thorvaldson picks up the puck in the neutral zone, skates down Main Street and rips it glove side to take a 1-0 lead for the Canadians with 3:21 left in the first period. Puck's dropped at center, and the puck sent into the Warriors zone. Bounces off the glass, comes to the right of the net. Jammed up the ice by number 17 Sept and into the Canadian zone. Frostad, far side for Morris. Morris wanted to put it to the near side. Warriors got a piece of that and bounces back into their own zone. Number 6, Donaghy moves that to the near side. Warriors use the boards to put it back into the Canadian zone. Morris with it. Trying to go in that far corner, and there is a whistle here. A penalty being issued. Holding. Okay, well, I'm not too sure about that one. We'll see if we can get it. Morris got a holding penalty, they say, right about here. Only the coaches will have a better idea. We need a mic on the bench or something. That was interesting. We'll have to blow that up and take a second look at it. 2:43 left in the first period. First power play of the game will go in favor of the Warriors as they take the face off far side in the Canadian zone. There's a shot deflected out of play. And we got to stop with 2:38 left in the first. Draw will be far side in the Canadian zone once again. Canadians win it. Taylor gets it over to Ulrich. Ulrich over to Turcotte. Turcotte throws that off the boards. Tried to get some out from Burnett, but it was knocked down by Snicky at the line. Second attempt by the Canadians. Completes the clear. Molyneux sets that up for Stonicky. Starts moving it to the far side, up to number 19, Roma. Jam through. Here it comes on the near side, Burnett. Put back to the point. Roma throws that to the far corner. Centering pass by DeHid, knocked down by the Canadians, but the Warriors keep control back to the point. Stonicky shot, kicked away by Webster. Another chance there, low. And Webster swallows up the second shot. Not giving any more rebounds on the power play. And we got to stop here with 1:51 left in the first period. Canadians up 1-0, but the Warriors on the power play. They still have 1:08 left with the man advantage as the draw will go to the far side in the Canadian zone. Scrambled a bit, goes to the far boards. Warriors get it. Number 7, Romano, puts that down low. Down back to number 18, Withhold. Back to Romano. They're going to battle for it in those far boards. Comes back to the point. Number 11 works on that. There's a shot. Oh, that was Christensen taking a shot. And Webster just hanging on, I think, long enough. I didn't quite see it. I had my head down looking at the names. Just off the glove of Webster now to play, it seems. Same thing happened right after the next draw. And we'll do it again. 1:30 to go in the first period. 47 seconds left in the Warriors' power play. Warriors win the faceoff. Christensen at the point. Moves to the far side to Dawson. Back to... Now comes over to the near side. Christensen keeps that in. Frostad with it. Fires that down the ice. Less than 30 seconds to go in the Warriors' power play. Christensen back to play it. Christensen hangs onto it. Sends it over to Dawson. Dawson goes up the far side of the ice. That's stopped by Thorvaldson. Comes back to Christensen. Looking for Dawson again. That is intercepted by Thorvaldson. Thorvaldson now gonna get into the zone. There's a pass to the right side. Frostad's shot hit a leg, goes wide. Eagle keeps that in. Sends that down low. Looking for Thorvaldson. 15, Bailey tried to move behind the net. Thorvaldson got a piece of it. Warriors send that out to the neutral zone. Canadians back to full strength as the Warriors trying to move it out of their own zone. Here's Daub with it. It's going to come up the middle. Whiffs on the shot. Knocked down by Burnett. Burnett chips that out to the neutral zone. Warraw puts that back to the Canadian side. Ulrich near side for Thorvaldson. Chips that into the Warriors zone. 12 seconds to play in the period. Far side, Hoare with it. He's bumped against the boards, but the puck comes loose for Burnett. There's a shot by, that was Turcotte. Turcotte making that shot there. And a save by Molyneux with about 4 seconds to go left in the period. Jump over to the live action here as the puck's dropped. Time expires on the period, and the Canadians will head into the dressing room with a 1-0 lead. To me, they controlled much of the game. However, Webster was tested a few times, standing up to the challenge and keeping the net clean for the first period. All right, folks, we're going to get into our sponsors before anybody runs into a hot mic. Take care. We'll see you for the second period. Well, hello, folks. Welcome back to the second period here at the Strathcona Olympiette, Strathcona County, Alberta. Canadians will be going right to left in this period. They are up 1-0 on the Strathcona Warriors. Ice is clean. Teams are set. We are ready to go.
We still have white spots now.
There's right off the draw. Eagle puts that in. Oh, I'm sure he knew that his brother was watching him. He's like, I'm going to give him a show. And there it is. Eagle right off the draw. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Let's get back to... We might not have missed it. It's okay. Press play. Finish the sponsor reel. We had like just started going. Hustle up, sponsor reel. Boom! What a rip by Carson Eagle to open up the scoring in the second period. Canadians are up 2-1. All right, stand by. We'll jump back to here. That was explosive. Canadians coming right back at it, putting that puck into the offensive zone. Tipped down the ice by the Warriors in the Canadian zone, picked up by number 19, Roma. Swept down low, centering pass. That's broken up by Morris. Comes back to the point, but not out. Kept in by number 11, right side. There's a shot by Thompson, put into the near corner. Battle for it. Comes back to the point. Number 20 takes a shot. That's knocked down. Thorvaldsen picks it up. Comes to the near side to Hoare. Hoare moving it down the ice. There's a shot. He's hit while taking a shot and ends up in the boards. Roughly. He's having trouble getting up, but he is back on his skates, heading back to the bench. Ulrich with it. Flips that down the ice just wide of the net. Comes over the near side. Number 11 with it. Dumps that into the Warriors zone. Put her on the far side. Warriors put that down low. Zahar puts that over to the near side. Up the boards. Enriquez Gomez couldn't get it around. His man, number 25, Yerkish. Puck's down low in the Canadian zone. Frostad with it. Near side for Ulrich. Ulrich. Wheel it out of the zone. Now he goes cross ice to Yamniak. Yamniak coming into the zone. Hangs on to the puck. Looking for a trailer. It's Frostad right on, and it bounces over to... Was that Zahar? Zahar couldn't get the backhand to go. Dowell picks it up for the Warriors. Coming up the left side. Gets into the zone. Low shot. That is deflected below the goal line. Thrown against the grain by number 10. That's blocked by the Canadians. On the far side, Frostad pinches number 10 into the boards. Warwa. Centering pass broken up by Morris. Morris with it. Puck's just put into the near side of the Canadian zone. And I think that was a generous icing call. Yerkish clearly gave up on the play. Took his time going down there to get it. Let's see if this... Yeah, I think my replay is too far behind. All right, we will only use the replay now for big events. Quick shot on goal handled by Webster. Makes the stop here with 17:38 left in the second period. Face off far side in the Canadian zone. Warriors win the draw. Shot into traffic's deflected to the far corner now. Pushed over to the near side. Put up the near boards. Frostad Thorvaldsen, pokes that out to the neutral zone. Tries coming over to the near side, and it rolls right onto Molyneux, who makes the save here, covering that with 17:19 left in the second period. This will bring the draw to the far side in the Warriors zone. Richard lining up to take the face-off against Daub. Warriors just a little late getting on here. We're all set now. Warriors ejected from the face-off dot, maybe because of the late change, and Ogunde takes the draw. Canadians win it. Take it behind the Warriors net. Thrown into the slot, backhand shot. That's broken up by the Warriors. Here they come back the other way, led by DeHead. DeHead puts that up the right side. Low shot onto Webster. Blocker save, sends that to the far side. Ogunde puts that down low. Warriors centering pass, broken up by Morris. Put up the boards. Far side, here's West in his own zone. Moves it to the near side to Turcotte. Turcotte with it. Can get around Ogunde, knocks that down, and the Warriors keep that in the Canadian zone. Battle for it in the near corner. And looks like the Warriors going to end up in the box here. Flipped onto his tail was, I think it was Morris. Looks like Morris on the far side. And into the box will go Lane DeHead with 16:42 left in the second period. Canadians go on the power play. The draw will be far side in the in the Warrior zone. Puck's dropped. Warriors almost won it. Canadians steal it back. Thorvaldsen turns, fires it on net. And hanging on to that was Molyneux. And then we get a scuffle after. Not sure we'll get a penalty here. I think we'll just reset with the draw on the near side in the Warrior zone. 16:34 left in the second period. 1:52 left in the Canadians' power play. Still 2-0 for the Canadians. Puck's dropped. Canadians win it. They put it down low in the Warrior zone, but Warriors first to it. Christensen moves to the far side. Thorvaldsen keeps it in for the Canadians. Thorvaldsen at the right point. Sends that down the boards to Zahara. Moves that up to Frostad. Frostad spins at the line, walking it in. Now goes to the left side. Shot by Hoare right onto Molyneux. Rebound picked up by Dhaliwal. Throws that in the slot. Lifting the stick of Dhaliwal goes Romano, and he chases up the puck and puts it down the ice. 1:20 to go in the power play. Stretch pass quickly up to Dhaliwal, sitting on the Warriors' blue line. That was a heavy hit by Carson. Warriors move it up the far side and into the Canadian zone. Short-handed, here they come. Low shot right onto Webster. Makes the save. Puck comes into the near corner. Picked up by the Canadians. Thorvaldsen throws that to the open ice. That's cut off by Warwa. Over the near side, Hoare gets that out to the neutral zone. Warwa knocks that down. Moves it back to his defensive partner, 15 Bailey. And the puck's put down into the Canadian zone. Canadians with 40 seconds to go in the power play as they move the puck out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Yamniak. Yamniak gets that to Enriquez Gomez and chips that into the Warriors zone. Yamniak goes to chase it up for the Canadians. Cycles to the far side. Back to the point to Morris. Over to Yamniak on the boards. Near side to Eagle. Eagle walking it down. Back door, and Enriquez Gomez couldn't put it home. Over in the near corner. Eagle picks it up. Puts it back to the point to Morris. Morris walking it in. Low shot. Trying to pick that far corner. It goes wide. Yamniak puts that back down low the goal line. Enriquez Gomez upends his man. Comes over to the near side. Centering pass. Cuts through the slide over to the far side. Put down to the neutral zone. Here's Morris picking it up. We're going to have an unsportsmanlike here issued to Enriquez Gomez as the Warriors got their man back onto the ice. They'll be having a power play now with 14:39 left in the second period. Could be a momentum swing. It was a good kill by the Warriors. Now they drew a penalty from an unsportsmanlike from the Canadians, and the draw will be far side in the Strathcona Warriors, or in the Canadian zone. Taking the draw, Dow. Oh, there's a rip right off the face-off. Making it past the glove side of Webster and into the back of the net. And the Strathcona Warriors have opened up their scoring with 14:36 left in the second period. to move this game back to within one. Still 2-1 for the Canadians after that Warriors power play goal. Well, yep, not going to catch up to it. We'll just swap back to the live action here. And as we drop the puck, both teams full strength. Puck goes into the Canadian zone. Ulrich far side for Schufelt. Schufelt centers that, and it's kicked out to the neutral zone. Thrown to the wide side. Roma coming in. Looks like caught offside, and will stop play with 14:22 left in the second period. Face off near side, won by the Canadians. Warriors jump on it, though, directed towards Webster, and Webster will make the stop here with 14:17 left in the second period. Draw will be near side in the Canadian zone. And they win it. Ulrich puts that behind the net. Over to Schufelt on the far side. Trying to seal it against the boards. Taylor comes in to help. Turcotte too. Schufelt now pulls it off the boards. Throws it to the wide side to Ulrich. Ulrich up to Horror. He chips it into the Warriors zone. Sepp picks that up. Moves that up the ice. That's broken up by Taylor. Sepp gets it back. Throws it into the neutral zone. Horror's going to rush it up the right side. Takes it off the corner. Battle for it on the far side. Arm of the ref is up. They're going to give this one to the Canadians. I'm going to guess this one's going against Zahara, but it could be Morris. See if we can catch it here as they battle on that far corner. Oh yeah, cross check in the back by Damon, it would be appear. And we got 2-minute penalty issued to the Canadians with 13:34 left in the second period. Warriors on the power play. Canadians get the puck off the draw and they throw it down the ice. 1:50 left in the Warriors power play as they start behind their own net. Going to the far side to Stanicki. That's stopped by Taylor. Taylor doing a good job. Now it comes out to the neutral zone, picked up by number 12, Dawson. Dawson lost the puck. Taylor takes that, clears the zone. Behind the net, Bailey with the puck. Over to the near side. Christensen rushing up the right side. He's stopped by Richard. Richard coming back the other way with it. Heading towards the net is Burnett. Richard holds, waits, glove save, Molyneux. Good setup, change in the neutral zone by the Canadians. They rush back, coming up the near side. Are we going to go back to the old way? Maybe the replay's caught up. As Richard, you can see, grabs the puck, turns it over, comes in the near side. Toe drag, there's a rip on net. But Molyneux, with that great save there, stops play. Right off the draw, the Warriors win the faceoff. They got 1:10 left with the man advantage. 12:40 to go in the second period. Stretch pass knocked down by the Canadians, Frostad, and sent into the Warriors bench. Roll of the draw just outside of the Canadian zone. Warriors with 1:05 left in the power play. 12:39 to go in the second period. Warriors win it. Move it to the near side to Roma. Roma tried to set that back, but West knocks it down, comes loose into the Canadian zone where Eagle takes it and fires it the length of the ice. Warriors, 50 seconds left with their power play as they move it behind their net, led by Stanicki. Over to the near side to Roberts. Roberts trying to come in. Couldn't get her around the Canadians' defense and chop the puck out to the neutral zone. Followed up by Schufelt. Slips on it. Couldn't get back to the puck where Strathcona picks it up. Looking for the trailer. Here's the pass over to the far side to Ogundia. And he has to take that into the corner. Gets some help from Daub. Daub cycles over the near side. Pass up. Now it comes from number 9 to 19. Oh, and it's bounced in. It's tipped in front. Left alone, it looked like number 12, Dawson, got the tip on that, putting into the back of the net. And the Strathcona Warriors have evened up the game at 2 with 11:52 left in the second period. Right from the point, there's a shot, and it was tipped in. So nearly halfway through the second period, and we have a brand new hockey game. Tied at 2. Puck's in the Canadian zone. Turcotte tries to shovel that out. There's a shot on to Webster. Webster makes the save. Warriors pick it up. Morris stopped the wraparound attempt. He gets the puck behind the net. Now moves it to the near side. Ogundia keeps that in the zone. Turcotte with it. Throws it to the outside. Kept in by number 11. Christensen, puck on the near side in the Canadian zone, comes out into the slot. Turcotte sweeps that back to the point. Shot by 20, knocked down by Thorvaldson. Thorvaldson, left side to Hoare. Hoare wanted to get in front. Looking for Taylor. It's on the doorstep, poked away by Molyneux. Put back to the point. Ulrich knocks that down, but Ogundia follows that up for the Warriors. Coming over to the near side, dumps that into the Canadian zone, goes for a change. Ulrich with it. Gets the puck up the ice to West, who chips that near side into the Warrior zone. 20, moves it over to 25. Yurkish on the far side. Canadians pull it back off the boards. They're going to battle for it on the corner. Dollywall with it, trying to fight through the check. Chip back to the boards, and now what? I didn't see any indication why the whistle was blown. Was a knockdown by a high stick. I don't know if I can even see it on the replay here. Arm of the ref is up. Oh yeah, okay. Hooking call being issued to the Warriors. Canadians now on the power play. They win the face-off in the offensive zone. Here's Frosted with it. Near side for Hoare. Hoare puts that right on net, and Molyneux making the save there with 10:20 to go in the second period. Face-off near side, Warriors zone. Canadians win it. Here's Hoare with it. So back to Frosted. Moves that back to Hoare on the near boards. He lets that go down for Dollywall in the corner. Dollywall gets checked, but still battles for it. Gets it back to Hoare. Hoare hanging on. Now moves it up to Frosted. Frosted takes his shot. Hits a stick. Kept in the zone. Far side by Thorvaldson. Hoare coming up the near side. He resets. Taking it up high. Hangs on. Throws it low. Right onto the goal. Frosted's stick broke. He couldn't step into it. Hoare coming back the other way. It's a 2-on-1 back the other way, but well, tried to feed that to the far side to Romano, and the pass was too far in front of him. Puck coming up the near side. Here's Morris with it for the Canadians. Moves that down low to Thorvaldson. Thorvaldson moves it back to Morris. Morris hanging on to it. Comes into the corner. First one to it was Strathcona. Held in at the far point by Yamniak. Yamniak moves that down the boards to Sahara. Over to Thorvaldson. Down low Dollywall. Moves it back to Yamniak. Yamniak shot. Blocked by number 16 to hit. Canadian still with it. There's a shot by Zahara. Cleared away, but not out. Yamniak near side for Morris. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Zahara in the near corner. Moves out of the boards. Morris knocks that down, but manhandling it out is Daub. He gets the puck all the way down the ice, clearing the zone. Morris hustles back for the Canadians. 10 seconds to go with the man advantage. Pass to the far side to Eagle. Back inside to Taylor. Back to the outside to Enriquez Gomez. Over to Morris. Morris is going to fire one on net, and Molyneux with the save, stopping play with 8:31 to go in the second period. See if we can catch that rush again. Not a bad one from the Canadians as they move it from center to the far side, ending with a shot on net. Molyneux with the glove save. And we'll jump back to live action. We're waiting for the face-off on the far side. Warriors still have their man in the box for one more second, so the Canadians. Quick chance at the power play here. Morris trying for the tap-in with Enrique Gomez. It hops off his stick. He was checked on the play. Warriors pick it back up. Here they come up the near side. 14 centering pass knocked down by West, but Dawson follows that up. Dawson comes into the zone. Loses his edge. Pretty close to a trip there. Now it comes out to the neutral zone. Warriors get a piece of it, and Carson's going to put that deep. Here is Eagle. Puts that up the near side. Looking for Enrique Gomez. That's knocked down by number 20, and Roma puts it back to the Canadian zone. Morris with it. Centering pass up to 20. Keeps that in the zone. Puck on the far side in the Canadian zone. Morris with it. He's going to just float that down the ice and get a change here with the icing call. 7:39 left in the second period. And we're tied up at 2. Oops, not on the power play. Puck's dropped. Canadians win it. Frostad puts behind the net for Turcotte. Turcotte couldn't sweep it to the outside. Picked up by Roma, centering pass that goes right through the slot. West jams that up the boards. Good one to Dollywall. Dollywall coming into the zone with speed. Low shot right into the foot or the ankle of Yurkish. Yurkish doing a good job blocking the shot there. Puck comes out to the neutral zone and rolls into the Canadian side. Turcotte picks it up behind his own net. Feeds to the outside looking for West. That was cut off by Roberts. Battle for it in that far corner. Roberts moves it over the near side into the slot. There's a shot. Webster with the save. Puck still available. They're going to jam away. We'll have to another look at it as Yurkish comes in from the point and just rifles one from 10 feet on to Webster. Decent rebound and a big scuffle after that rebound until the whistle goes. We'll have the draw near side in the Canadian zone with 6:57 left in the second period. Thorvaldson lining up against Dope. Thorvaldson wins it, gets it to Ulrich. Ulrich over to Eagle. Eagle up the far side to Burnett. Burnett had his stick lifted, sent right back in. That bounces over to the near boards. Horror with it. He's going to float that out to the far side. Ogundeya knocks that down. Here he comes into the slot. That shot, hidden ankle, goes to the far boards. Eagle with it. Throws up the side, picked up by number 16 to hit. Centering pass knocked down by the Canadians. Thorvaldson gets that back to Eagle. Eagle behind his own net, floats to the near side, wants to get it to Horror. It's going to be sent to the far side. Burnett picks it up for the Canadians, slides it up the ice, cut off by Ogundeya. Ogundeya throws that up the middle. His forwards didn't see it. Ulrich does. Gets it over to Eagle. Eagle puts that up the near side to Horror. Horror chips that in. Horror straight to the net. Low shot. That was save. Eagle with another one that hit a man in front. Ogundeya finds the rebound. He's going to rush it up the ice. At the end of a shift, is he going to dump it? No. Ulrich able to take the puck away from him. Ogundeya throws that to the open side. Now he'll head to the bench. 18 with Olds. Throws that down low. Canadians get it back. Pass up the ice to Yamniak. Yamniak puts that deep into the Warrior zone. Over on the near side, it rolls up the boards out to center. Shoved forward by Morris. Zahara looking for Enriquez Gomez. 20 takes that away. 20 coming up the right side. There's a shot. Glove save, Webster. And the rebound, he has to push to the far boards. Zahara with it. Centering pass up to Enriquez Gomez. Good one there. And Zahara just a step in front of his line mate. Puts himself offside. And we'll reset with 5:12 left in the second period. We started the period 1-0 for the Canadians. Eagle able to put one in with about 3 seconds to get into the period, but the Warriors have been able to battle back with the help of power play goals. Canadians, here's Turcotte, low shot on to Molyneux, and we got a quick blip on my side. So I don't think we're going to get the rebound or the replay on that one. 5:02 left in the second period. Face off far side in the Warriors zone. Warriors win it. Christensen tried to chop it around, but couldn't. Moves behind his net. Now comes out the neutral zone. Morris puts that back into the Warriors zone, right on to Molyneux. And they are going to move it out to center. Cut off by Schufelt. Zahara sweeps that into the far side. Warriors put that to the far boards. Move down to Enriquez Gomez. That shot off of the blocker and put out of play. And we'll stop play here with 4:37 left in the second period. And at the end of that play, the Warriors, number 13, shuttled over to the bench. He has an interference penalty called against him. Jeremy Daub with 4:37 left in the second period. Canadians on the power play. It's won by the Canadians. Thrown on net, right on to Molyneux. He's going to hang on to that one. We're going to stop here with 4:29 to go in the second period. Draw again, far side in the Warriors zone. Canadians win it, swept back to the line by Thorvaldsen. Frostad, slap shot, that is directed wide. Bounces back to Thorvaldsen, puts that down low behind the net over to Hoare. Hoare back to Thorvaldsen, comes off his skate into the slot. Warriors gonna get a hold of it, send it down the ice. Hustling down, number 10, Warwa. But Kai Webster there first, gets it to Hoare. Hoare moves it up the ice to Thorvaldsen. Thorvaldsen to Frostad. Over to Zahara, going backdoor for Thorvaldsen. Couldn't connect. Dhaliwal hangs on to the puck. He's behind the net. Sweeping over to the far side. Pass back to the point. Knocked down by number 15, Bailey. Canadian still with it. Tried to go short side. Oh, and it bounces up. I don't know. We're going to get a good replay on that one. As it bounces up and over the shoulder. I think Dhaliwal swept it out of the air and just over the shoulder of the Warriors goaltender. That was a strange one for sure. It's Dhaliwal working on the far side. Canadians trying to go short side. Still jamming away. It pops up and just bounces in. I think Dhaliwal did bounce it up one more time. Power play goal for the Canadians comes with 3:40 to go in the second period. They're up 3-2. Puck coming back into their zone. Rushed in by number 9. Centering pass. That's broken up by Eagle. Still another chance. That shot put just wide. Still in the Canadian zone. Moving up. Centering pass. Put out to the far side. That put low one around the boards. And Burnett moves that down the ice. Icing waved off because Schufelt gets there first. Warriors pick it up in their own zone. Here they come up the near side. Taylor able to track down the puck. He keeps it in the Warriors zone. Warriors make the move up the near side. That's cut off by Yamniak. Moved it down to Schufelt. Schufelt cycles behind the net. Couldn't get it in front. Centering pass knocked down by the Warriors. They get it back to the line. That's picked up by Ulrich, who throws that to the open corner. Bounces nicely back for Schufelt. Over to in front for Yamniak. Yamniak couldn't catch up to it from that pass by, who was it? Taylor. So the Warriors end up icing the puck with 2:38 left in the second period. Canadians go up a goal after that power play. Power play bounce, I guess. And we'll have the face-off near side in the Warriors zone. Warriors won it. Lucas Gomez broke up that breakout, though. Warriors now just float it out where Morris knocks it down. Comes back to the Warriors zone. 20 knocks it down over to Zahara. Zahara jams that back into the Warriors zone. Warriors sends it to the far side to Ogundia. Number 13 Dubs going to pick that up. Try to rush that up the left wing into the Canadian zone. Here he comes down low. Hooked on the play by Morris. Puck cleared away from the crease. And we got to stop here with 2:09 left in the second period. Take another look here. Actually, is this the big hit? I think this is getting far behind again. So yeah, they move it up. That was Ogundia moved it up. Dub just rushes it in. Comes in. And there's the hook. And there's the arm of the ref. Warriors will be on the power play here with 2:09 to go in the second period. Teams, looks like they're having a chat at center. Oh, they're gonna, looks like a interference penalty. It was, I think it was a hook and then interference. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, if it's Jackson, I think it was a hook. By this replay here, it looked like it. Ah. Yeah, I thought could have been Morris. So, we are playing 5-on-5. Both teams have full strength, and each team has a player in the box. Here's Dollywall, sprung loose. Here comes up the left side. There's a shot. Glove save, Molyneux. Great rush there by Dollywall, but it just couldn't get it glove side against the Warriors goaltender. We'll have the face off near side in the Warrior zone. Pucks dropped, Canadians win it. Dollywall back to the left point, Turcotte fired on net, chipped in front, tipped back and shot, and Molyneux got a piece of that to keep it out. Puck just jammed out of play. Bounces back in. We'll have the face-off near side in the Warrior zone with 1:34 to go in the second period. Warriors win the draw this time. Number 20 moves it around to the far side. That's cut off by Burnett of the Canadians. Down low for Thorvaldson. His centering pass hits the skate, put back to the far boards. Canadians still keep it in the zone. Hoare puts it off the glass. Burnett trying to rush it towards the net. Bounces back to the line. Here's Frosted, and it's just off the side. Tried to tip it in the near side. Bounces off the outside of the net. That didn't miss by much. Hoare back to the point for Frostad. He's emboldened, throws a shot on net. Thorvaldson with the backhand shot off the rebound, puts it to the outside for Hoare. It bounces away from him. Number 18 with hold, throws that to the near side to number 7, comes in. There's a shot. Webster out to challenge, comes off his chest, rolls to the near boards. Back to the point. Number 20 with it. That shot hit Turcotte in front. He's wounded, but he's going to be able to walk it off. Hoare receives the puck. Couldn't get into the Warriors zone. Here's a chance. It's 2-on-none. Webster with 2 great saves back-to-back. We'll take a look at that as the net comes off. And Webster flat out bails out his team with 32 seconds left in the period. Just about the worst time to give up a tying goal, which he denies. We'll have the face-off near side in the Canadian zone. You know, sir. Face off from the near side in the Canadian zone. Canadians win it. Take it behind their own net. Ulrich on the far side. That's cut off by number 14. Chance for the Warriors. Puts that wide. Number 14 was able to get a chance there. 13 throws that in front. Now over on their side for 10. Comes back down low. Warwa tries to center that. That was knocked down by Allred. Warwa with another chance. Webster with the save. He didn't see it. Swept over to the near side. There's still 6 seconds to go in the period. Put down low. Over kicks that into the corner. And I think they realized the net had come off. They blew the whistle. Yeah, they could have blew it maybe 6 seconds earlier. This probably benefits the Canadians. They get a couple of changes in. And with 3 seconds to go in the period, not much chance for the Warriors to get one on net. And they now will not have a chance as the Canadians clear the puck down the ice. You heard the buzzer goes. And the second period has ended with the Canadians in front of the Strathcona Warriors 3-2. Good period for the Canadians. Excellent finish for their goaltender Kai Webster as he can skate into the dressing room and then walk the rest of the way with a bit of a strut, knowing that he bailed his team out at the end of the period. We're going to get our sponsors some airtime here, and we'll take a break for the second intermission. We'll see you right back here at the Strathcona Olympiette for the third period, about 15 minutes.
Show me some.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Strathcona County. We are at the Strathcona Olympiette for this third period between the Strathcona Warriors and the CAC United Sport Cycle Canadians. Canadians will be moving left to right in this period. They're up 3-2. Ice a little wet. We're waiting a couple seconds, and then we'll get going on the third period here. So, goal scorers in the first period. Eric Thorwaldson starts it out for the Canadians with a helper from Yamniak. At the very start of the second period, 6 seconds in, Eagles scores. Helper from Thorwaldson, the centerman. And then the Warriors answer back with two of their own. Bailey Roberts, helper from Daub, and then Daub from Lincoln Roma. And then the Canadians, Dollywall pops one in, helper from Thorwaldson. Action underway here at the third period as the puck comes into the Warriors zone. Molyneux makes the stop, sets it up for his defense, and they move it up the ice. Oh, that's cut off by Frostad. Frostad trying to sweep that in. Trying to hold number 9 off with one hand. Puck put over to the near side. Put back to the point. Canadians couldn't quite keep it in the zone, so they got to reset in their own. Puck moved up the near boards, looking for Enriquez Gomez. Bounces over to Molyneux, sets that up for number 17 side. Bounces back, Yamniak. Oh, he was looking for Zahara. That was intercepted and sent out to the neutral zone. Flipped back in the zone by Eagle. But he roofed it, and we're going to reset the neutral zone. I don't know if we'll get it. Yeah, I will. Here we go. Once up, hit the roof, whistle goes, and we'll reset. Puck's dropped and just outside the Canadian zone. They win it, move it up the near side. Side decks that down, and puts that down the ice for an icing call with 18:48 left in the third period. Face off near side in the Warriors zone. Warriors win it. Here they come up the near side, led by Carson. Carson stripped to the puck at center. Enriquez Gomez moves it up to Zahara. He wanted to get over to Yamniak. That was upset by the Warriors. On the far side, Ulrich takes the puck and it bounces up and into the Warriors bench. And we'll have another stop. Face off far side, just outside of the Warrior zone with 18:34 to go in the third period. Canadians win the draw. Ulrich puts it deep into the Warriors zone. Warriors move it around to the far side. Up the boards. That's cut off at center by Ulrich. On the near side. I think that's Burnett pinching in at the right side. Oh, no, pardon me. That was Enriquez Gomez pulling it in for the Canadians. Arm of the official up. We got some extracurricular. No, a tripping call here. Issued to number 11, Christensen, the defenseman. Must have come after they moved out of the corner here. Yeah, looks like just gave an extra one to Enriquez Gomez, I think. Sorry, puck's dropped. And the Canadians on the power play. There's a shot. Molyneux makes the save. Molyneux. Thorwaldson with the puck. Back to the point, Frostad, left side for Hoare. Back to Frostad at the point, right side to Thorwaldson. Thorwaldson tried to feed that across to Hoare. That was chipped back to the point. Frostad with it. Down low for Zahara. That shot blocked. Warriors trying to get out. Sahara battles it back. Now it comes out to the neutral zone. Blink coming in. Blink moves over to the nearest side. Still hangs on to the puck. Comes into the boards. Thorvaldson comes, takes it away. Moves it up to Turcotte. Turcotte to Hoare. Hoare puts that deep into the Warriors zone. Thorvaldson on the forecheck moves it over the near side, but the Warriors are going to get a piece of it or get a hold of it and send it down the ice. Webster out to play it. Almost a giveaway behind the net. Enriquez Gomez tries to jam it out. That doesn't make it all the way. Frostad comes away with the loose puck. Moves it back to Morris. Morris with it. Near side to Eagle. Eagle walking it in. We got an offside call here. And we'll have to reset with 6:46 left in the third period. Canadians, 36 seconds left with the man advantage as they hang on to a 1-goal lead. Puck's dropped, Canadians win it. Here's Morris on the near side. Moves it left side to Eagle. Up to Yamniak. Up to Taylor on the right side. Taylor centering pass, or he throws that on. And Mullinock chips that to the far boards. Warriors end up with the puck. They're going to put that down the ice. Chip down. Webster out with it. Webster moves it over behind the net over the near side. Morris picks it up. Morris hangs on to it. Sends it over to Eagle. Eagle tripped on the play. And the Warriors going to be in the box for this one. Jump back here with Webster confidently moving the puck behind the net. Morris stopped briefly, gets it over to Eagle, and Eagle trying to drive it. Tripped right on the red line by the Warriors, number 13, Daub. So the Canadians have a extremely brief 5-on-3 power play with 5 seconds left in the first penalty. Penalties called, or the penalty was called with 16:14 left in the third period. Warriors win the draw and they move the puck down the ice. They get one back on the ice. Canadians still on the power play with 1:50 to go. Frostad, far side to Hoare. Hoare flips that into the Warrior zone, comes in the nearest side. Number 6 tries to move it up. Stonicki tries to move it up, but that's knocked down by Thorvaldson. He puts that around the boards to Dollywall. Dollywall moves it up to Hoare. Hoare back to the point, Frostad. Back down to Hoare. Hoare wanted to get it at Thorvaldson, who is sneaking towards the net. Warriors break up that play. Move it to the near side. Here's Roma coming into the zone short-handed. Roma feeds it back twice. He whiffs on the pass twice. And then it's cleaned up by Hoare. Hoare. Near side to Zahara. Zahara chips that into the Warrior zone. Warriors put off the glass, take that into the neutral zone. Blink trying to chase that up on the forecheck. Frostad moves it around him to Thorvaldson, who moves to the far side. Zahara gets a hold of it, puts it right on the Strathcona goaltender, who decides to cover it up with 15:06 to go in the third. Draws far side in the Warrior zone. Battle for it. It's going to be put to the far side. Enriquez Gomez gets that for the Canadians. Back to the point for Eagle. Eagle flips that over to Yamniak. Yamniak over to Morris. Morris hangs onto it. There's a shot looking for Taylor to tip. Mullinock got a piece of it. Oh, he sprawled out. Canadians turn. Enriquez Gomez fires it, but it ends up off the stick of Carson and hits the roof. So goes out of play. We'll have a face-off near side in the Warrior zone. 30 seconds to go in the Canadians' power play. Puck's dropped. Canadians win it. Here's Morris at the blue line. Fires it on net. Molyneux got a piece of that. Sent that to the far boards. Eagle with it. Eagle in the slot. Backhand shot. Blocker save. Knocked down. Molyneux will hang on with 14:30 left in the third period. Face-off will be far side. Maybe we'll get another quick look at the replay here. As I looked up, we had just enough time to get this off. And we'll go to the far side. Puck's dropped. Canadians win it at the line. Turcotte moves it over the right side. Frostad wanted to get it to Richard, who's sitting in the slot. Puck comes out to the neutral zone for West. West moves it. Now up the ice. Warriors get their man out of the box as it's moved off the boards. Puck's moved off the boards down the ice. 13 gets there for the Warriors. Tries to feed that out front. Kept in on the far side by Yurkish. Put down low for Warwa. Warwa in the corner. Moves it over to 14. Carson. Carson takes a shot. That his stick goes off the mark. Maybe Webster got that on the stick, but it comes up the glass and down the ice. West, good weight there. Meets it with Dollywall. Dollywall couldn't drive it towards the net. Puck comes out to the neutral zone again. Here's Daub coming up the near side. Centering pass to number 7, right into the chest of Webster. Webster reaching out. It's still available. Swept out. It's in, and it comes out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Staniki. High shot. Webster picks it up, knocks it down. Slides it behind the net. Picked up by Eagle. Eagle's outlet pass knocked down. Goes to the far boards. Pulled loose. Number 12 getting there for the Warriors. Dawson. Canadians get the puck back in their own zone. Hoare throws to the near side looking for Schufelt. Skips off the boards. Heading back into the zone is Eagle. In his own zone, behind the net. Moves the puck over to the near side to Ulrich. Ulrich puts it hard off the black boards. Stanicki knocks it down for the Warriors. Sends it to the far side to Blink. Blink gets that into the Canadian zone. Ulrich throws that to the outside. Chopped by Hoare. Picked up by Blink. Turned over and Ulrich gets that off the glass. Not out though. Warriors keeping the zone. On the far side, Romano moves it over to the near side. Looking for Dawson. Dawson, he's put it into the boards. Taylor able to bounce that out to the neutral zone. The Warriors have to tag up. Eagle flips that. Knocked on the blue line by Stanicki. Schufelt was there. Steals it. Schufelt coming in. Carries it down low. Couldn't battle it off of Blink. Enriquez Gomez. Thrown out in front. Bounces back to the point. Morris keeps it alive. Sends it up the near side to Enriquez Gomez. He has to battle against Stanicki. And Stanicki moves it up the near side. Up to Ogundia. He gets it into the Canadian zone. Ogundia in the slot takes a shot, but that was blocked by Morris. Sent to the far side. Ogundia gets it back. Sends it behind the net. Down low. Canadians get it back. Yemniak up the ice for Enriquez Gomez. Back to Yemniak. High shot off the shoulder. Followed up. And Zahara couldn't quite get there in time. Zahara centering pass. That's blocked by the Warriors. They try and move it to the outside. Shipped up by number 13. Up to Ogundia. And Ogundia moves that out to the neutral zone. Turcotte gets a piece of it. Goes up the near side. Into the Warriors zone. Warriors going to put that down the ice. Here comes Frostad up the ice with it. Frostad, far side for Zahara, up to Enriquez Gomez, who's trying to get the inside track against number 25, Yurkish, but Yurkish wins that battle. He comes up the near side. Puck chopped back to Christensen. He's going to carry that up the ice. Turned around at center by Enriquez Gomez. Stopped at the Canadians' blue line by Frostad. Roberts gets it for the Warriors. Centering pass comes back to him. Roberts puts it up the near side. Frostad has that for the Canadians. Left side for Ulrich. Ulrich moves that up to Burnett. Burnett puts that on net. And Molyneux moves that to the near boards. Canadians jump on it. Warriors have it behind their own net. They put it off the boards. Comes out to the neutral zone where Eagle puts it up the near side for Horror to complete the push into the Warrior zone. Shot from Horror, kicked away by Molyneux. Number 25, Yurkish, gets that out to the neutral zone. Now comes back to the far side, trying to rush it in. Number 19, Roma, but he lost control of the puck. Heads back to the Warrior zone. Warriors try to put up the far boards again. Ulrich and Hoare work together to keep that puck out. Comes loose for Burnett. Burnett chips that to the far side, but that was quickly knocked down by number 15, Bailey. Puck in the neutral zone. Picked up by Bailey. Couldn't get the pass off. West finds the loose puck, gets it into the Warriors zone. Warriors stop his advance. Puck swept out to the neutral zone. Eagle, far side for Turcotte. Turcotte couldn't get it off the boards. Warriors put that right on net to Webster, who steers that aside. Hands it to Eagle. Puck on the near side in the Canadian zone. Now it comes out to the neutral zone. Stonecki dumps that back to the Canadian zone. Turcotte up the near side to West. West centering pass. That's tipped. It's going to lie nicely for Richard. Put that below the Warriors goal. But Stonecki gets there. Now it goes to the far side. Put up the near side. Back to the point. Turcotte with a shot right onto Molyneux. And Molyneux will make the save there. Dropping down in the butterfly. Taking away the bottom of the net. And getting the stop with 8:53 left in the third period. We'll line up the replay feed here and see if it catches up as the puck comes over. Yeah, there's a rip from Turcotte right on net. And Molyneux making that low save. The draw is near side in the Warriors zone. It's chipped behind the net. Canadians get it. Thorvaldson tried to sweep it back the other way, but Blink read that, knocks it against the boards. Taylor in there. Schufelt centers that. That's broken up by number 12, Dawson, put out to the neutral zone. Morris tries to flip that back. It's knocked down. Dawson gets it. Feeds it to the far side to Romano. Romano comes in. There's a shot on net. And Webster making the quick save there with 8:33 left in the third period. Warriors do a good job transitioning through the zone. It bounces. I'm going to skip my evaluation there as the puck's dropped in the Canadian zone. Jammed against the Canadians goaltender. Refusal to blow the whistle there. It wasn't sealed. Canadians keeping it pinned against the boards. Morris there doing a good job. Help from Taylor. Comes loose. Thorvaldson steals the puck outright from Romano and heads up the ice with it. Here's Thorvaldson coming up the right side. Put down low, looking for Frostad, rushing towards the net. That goes to the far corner. Put up the far side. Here's Blink coming back the other way. In front, he had number 18 with Old, but couldn't get the puck to him. Canadians battle it back. Ulrich up to Schufelt. Schufelt one-on-one against Seib. Schufelt goes to the left, tries to drive back to the net, and it rolls back to Molyneux, who's going to hang on to that with 7:36 left in the third period. Canadians were able to move it up the ice. Here's Schufelt. Goes to the far side and caught by the Strathcona defenseman. Right off the draw, Zahara heading towards the net. He was caught. And heading into the box will be the Warriors' number 13, Daub. Here's a quick look at it right off the draw. Zahara pushed the puck towards the net, went to chase it up, and he was hauled down. Penalty called with 7:33 left in the third period. Canadians, 2-minute power play. And they win the face-off. Frostad, far side to Hoare. Hoare flips that on net, and Molyneux is going to make that stop, swallowing it up in the crest. And we'll take the face-off far side in the Warrior zone with 7:26 to go in the third period. Bucks drop. Warriors tried to push it through. Canadians keep it in the zone. Comes off the boards. Here's Hoare rushing towards the net. He's chopped off the puck by Ogundia. Shot from the left side by Morris. Knocked down. Or that was Zahara taking that shot. Moved over to the near side to Thorvaldson. Thrown on net. But Molyneux is going to make the save. 7:05 to go in the third period. The draw will be near side in the Warrior zone. Sahara wins it for the Canadians. Here's Frostad at the point. There's a shot. Trying to use the screen. Comes over the near side. Poor had a good shot at it. Taking that away was Thompson, who moves the puck down the ice. Poor just on that far side had the open net. And Thompson lifts his stick at the last second to prevent that shot. Poor lost the puck at the blue line. Thompson moves it down the ice. Webster sets it up for Thorvaldson on the near side. Behind the net, over to Morris. Morris with it. Hanging on. Bounces into the Warriors zone. They clear that back to the Canadian side. 45 seconds to go with the man advantage. As Morris moves it up the ice to Yamniak. Yamniak coming up the left wing and into the Strathcona zone. Cycles to the near side. Enriquez Gomez over to Yamniak. Yamniak walking it down. Gets it to Enriquez Gomez. Yamniak to Enriquez Gomez in front for Taylor. That shot saved by Molyneux. Battle for it in that near corner. 13 seconds to go in the power play. Comes loose for the Canadians. Enriquez Gomez. He gets that up to Morris. Morris left side to Eagle in front of Enriquez Gomez. And he couldn't get the stick on the one-timer. Warriors back to full strength. Canadians starting in their own zone. Here's Morris with it. He feeds that to the far wing. That's knocked down by Blink. Thrown up the ice. That's off the mark, but it's going to roll right onto Webster, so he has to play it. Moves it up the near side to Morris. Morris up to West. West, backhand shot. Blocked. Armor, backhand pass blocked by Christensen. Christensen shot by Turcotte. Sorry, through Turcotte. Another one. Near side, Daub couldn't put that home. Warrior still in possession of it. Sends that down low. Morris reads that. Takes that into the corner. Pushed off the puck by Daub. Dollywall gets that back to the line. Blink keeps that in. Blockers save. Webster put to the near side. Warwa trying to battle that away for the Warriors. West puts that out the boards. Neutral zone picked up by Dollywall. Dollywall comes into the slot. His stick checked. Up the other way. Here comes Carson with it. Left side. Tried to center that. That's going to float through the slot to the far corner. Comes back to the slot. Put back to the point. Number 17 with the shot. And Carson couldn't put that in the near side. Chipped off the glass. Rolled against the net, where Webster reaches over and covers it up with 4:11 to go in the third period. Canadians needed a stop there. Slow the momentum swing from the Warriors as they've been hunting for the last couple minutes. The draw will be the far side in the Canadian zone. Taylor to take the draw. It was Dawson who won it, put it into the corner. Warriors try to center that. That's blocked by the Canadians, and Frostad flips that up the ice and into the Warriors zone. Molyneux out to play it. Quickly gets it to Staniki. Staniki behind the net. Far side. Whiffing on the pass was Christensen. There was that Sept. There was Sept. Sept moves to the outside. Still battle for it on that far side. Now it's put below the goal line again. Staniki puts that out to the far side. Arm of the ref is up. We have a roughing penalty being issued to, I'm guessing, the Canadians. Going into the box. They don't know what number goes into the box. Taylor reluctantly heading in. 2 minutes for roughing here. The Warriors on the power play with 3:40 to go in the game. Critical time for the Warriors as they win the draw in the Canadian zone. Here's a shot from the point. Webster got a piece of that with the blocker. Comes over to the near side. Staniki over to the far side to Roma. That shot wide. Put down low. Eagle tries to throw it off the boards. Roma knocks it down. Roma throws it on the far side. Eagle comes over and completes the clear. In his own zone, Stanicki setting it up. 1:30 to go in the power play. That's cut off at center by Yamniak. He feeds it back to his defense, and Turcotte puts that high off the glass down the ice. 3 minutes to go in the third period. Canadians up 3-2. Here come the Warriors on the power play. 1:15 left with the man advantage. Out to Daub. He comes up the near side. Tracked down by Yamniak. Slows him up enough, and we have an offside call with 2:48 to go in the third. See if we can catch this up on the near side as Yamniak comes over, catches up to Daub, and holds him offside, slowing him up enough. Warriors win the face-off. Daub, far side for Roma. Roma flips that on net. Webster with the save as he receives the bouncing puck. And we'll have the face-off far side in the Canadian zone with 2:40 to go in the third period. Warriors still 1-1 left in their power play. Wait for the puck to be dropped. Some instructions being shouted first. Warriors win it. Near side, Stanicki. There's a shot. Glove save, Webster. He was able to read that. Got a good look at it. Hangs on with 2:34 to go in the third period. 55 seconds left in the Warriors power play. Warriors win the draw. Snaky, right side to Roma. Roma's shot. Webster, another save. Gets that in the glove, makes that look easy. Now there's 2:28 left in the third period. 48 seconds left in the Warriors power play. The Warriors are going to call a timeout. Let's see here if we can jump over to the shots on goal real quick. Shots on goal, 48-28 in favor of the Canadians. Teams breaking out from their huddles. Lining up for the draw, far side in the Canadian zone. Warriors have an extra man on the ice, taking their goalie out of the game, and they win the face-off in the Canadian zone. Puck put over to the near side. Roberts with a low shot. Webster with the pad save. Rebound picked up by the Warriors, sent to the far corner. 6-on-4 right now as the Warriors move it down low. Swept from the near side to Roberts. Back to the point to Stanicki. Stanicki with it. Right side for Roma. Roma walking it in. There's a shot off the stick of Zahara and sent off the boards. Picked up on the end boards by Dawson. Dawson back to the point for Roma. Roma cycling over. There's a shot. Another one blocked by Zahara. It goes into traffic. Swept back to Zahara, and he's going to put that down the ice. And the Warriors try to move that up quickly. West turns, fires it on net. Roma with the save. He picks up the puck. Canadians get their man back on the ice. They're back to full strength. Net's still empty for the Warriors. Horse stops that at center, throws that, and the puck gets into the Warriors zone. 1:25 to go in the third period. Centering pass up to Roma, or with Holt. With Holt puts that up the near boards and into the Canadian zone, who promptly put it back out to center. Up on the near side, Daub trying to drag it into the Canadian zone. It's sent to the far side. Eagle and Dawson battle for it on the far side. Comes up the boards. Here's number 7 Romano keeping in the Canadian zone. Centering pass, that comes off the side of the net. Swept to the far boards by Hoare. Eagle hustling up for it. He gets it down the ice. It's tipped down. Number 6, Stonicki tried to knock it down, so icing was waved off. Puck comes out to center, up to the near side. Morris picks it up. Knocked down by Romano. Stays in the Canadian zone. Hoare in there trying to dig it out. Thorvaldson comes in to help. Still battling for it on those near boards. Quick look, less than 30 seconds to go in the period. Still on those boards. Comes loose, goes down low. Thorvaldson will seal it against there. Get some help from Morris. Hoare just keeps jamming it back into their skates. Comes loose. Hoare keeps jamming it back. Now comes loose. It's out of the zone. 6 seconds to go. Blink turns around in his own zone. Accepts defeat. And there's the game. Webster way out there to make that final save. He was so far, you couldn't even see him in the camera. And the Canadians come into Strathcona County to walk away with the win. It was a tight one. They got up 2-0 in the game, but it was the Canadians finally getting that extra goal. They win this one 3-2 over the Strathcona Warriors. Good win by the Canadians to improve their record to 14-7. Strathcona Warriors will drop to 13-8. And it's a very close playoff race as we get to the stretch portion of the season. Running the camera today, Mr. Greg Eagle. Thank you for doing that. Once again, big shout to Carson's brother back at the University of Toronto. And we will see you next January 16th. So that's Friday night. Friday night at 7:15 in Sherwood Park as we start the Sherwood Park tournament against the Saskatoon Blues at the in Sherwood Park at the Shell Center. Thanks for tuning in, folks. It's been a pleasure. We will see you Friday night. Have a great night. Everybody that made